My name is Ken, but my friends call me Ken Dog, and I'm inviting you to join me as I travel down the Mother Road, Route 66. Westbound out of Kingman, Arizona, headed towards Oatman. I've really been looking forward to this drive. It's supposed to be something absolutely fantastic, something completely different than what I've seen so far along Route 66. And by the look of the scenery, yeah, I was in for a real treat. I'm already loving the total desert look of the area. But my understanding is just up ahead here, it really changes. The road goes crazy. A lot of people talk about this as being one of the scariest parts of this drive, some of it the most exciting. I was about ready to find out right here at this sign exactly what I had coming. And according to it, well, we've got about 8 miles, no guardrails, 191 turns. Should be exciting. Originally Cool Springs Camp, this is now a cool little Route 66 gift shop. It was actually seen in the movie Universal Soldier, starring Jean-Claude Van Damme and Dolph Lundgren, and they blew it up, literally. After leaving Cool Springs, that drive headed towards Oatman was just as I expected. Awesome. I mean, just look at this. Look at that view. It's a pretty good drop down there. It gets a little worse as time goes on. But up around this corner, yep, I've had my first donkey sighting. These are actually burros, and they're actually kind of funny. Look how cute they are. They were all over the car, just wanting to come say hi, let you pet them. They're very famous in this area, and I was actually thinking I might not see any, but I was quite a ways outside of town when I had my first experience. How are you doing? Can I pet you? Can I pet you a little bit? Yeah. Yeah. All right, guys, I got to keep going, okay? Here we go. All right, have a nice day. All right. Let me go. Oh, goodness. All right, guys. Come on. After leaving my new borough friends behind, that drive got even better, if that's entirely possible. The scenery was just fantastic. The rock cliffs, the mountains, all the different kind of plant life in this area is just fantastic. Crossed through the pass, totally remember I'm talking about this in the Grapes of Wrath, and the drive was just amazing. Let me show you some of that. The town of Oatman actually got its big claim to fame when gold was discovered here in 1863. People came from all over the place to look for gold. In 1921, a fire pretty much took out most of the original town of Oatman, but they rebuilt, and what's left is now often referred to as the ghost town that just won't die. There ain't a whole lot here except for the tourist stuff, but what is here is a lot of fun. After checking out the town a little bit, I decided to go into the Oatman Hotel. This place has been around since 1902. Mainly looking for some air conditioning because it was hot. But man, check this place out. Look at all of that money. It's everywhere. All sorts of denominations, not just U.S., but it's all a bunch of different foreign countries too. But I decided to grab something to eat. I went with their famous burro ears. It sounded really good. And they did not disappoint. That garlic on there is serious. It was so good. Washed it down with a Shiner Bock, of course. After lunch, I got to talking with one of the waitresses, and I was just curious if they had any kind of guess about how much money was on their walls. She was telling me that their best guess at it is a few $100,000. It doesn't really surprise me at all because while you can mainly see $1 bills, when you're really there and staring at it, you could start to see 5s, 10s, 20s. There's a lot. And again, as I said before, it's not just US. There's a lot of foreign currency as well that's mixed in. And these walls are thick. I mean, it's like several layers deep of this money. So it was really kind of cool to see. And as she told me, it's living history. People come and leave a little bit of them there. And so I had to do the same. I left one right there. As I left the Oatman Hotel, there was quite a few burros out on the road, so I wanted to spend some time checking them out before I had to leave town. Then I got back in the van, and as I was leaving, I heard somebody say that you're perfectly fine to feed them lettuce, but don't feed them carrots. And I just happened to have some lettuce in my cooler.
Nada, es un burro.
You a good baby over here too. There you go. Just west of town, I got to see some more, including a little baby burro. Pretty cute. Who are you guys? You want some lettuce? Yeah? What about you? You see him eating something? Here. There you go. Oh, sorry. Look at the little baby. Oh my goodness. Here. I'm sorry. Here. You. Over here, mister. You get some. Yeah. You can have some more. Oh. There you go. Oh my goodness. That whole experience was just so much fun. I have seen people's videos where they got to feed the burros there in Oatman. Man, I'm glad I got to do it. And check out the little babies. Oh my goodness. You just want to grab them and give them a hug. They're so cute. Oatman was a lot of fun. I'm so glad I got to do it. But it was time to hit the road. I still had a lot I wanted to see and do on this day. So I headed up Route 66 towards the interstate. When I originally planned this trip, I was only going to go as far as the California border, and then I was going to turn around and head towards Phoenix. But the more I started planning, the more I got to looking at it, the more I wanted to do a lot more. But this night was already planned, so I had to head back to Kingman. So I took the interstate back to Kingman, Arizona, and I'm glad I did because just look at this. Man, absolutely beautiful. It was a spectacular drive. Those rocks, the different layers that you can see, it's just fantastic. Again, I still say you don't get to see a whole lot when you're on the interstate, but that drive was spectacular. And it brought me right back in to the heart of Kingman. And it was a great drive. Glad I got to do it. But now let's go check out Kingman. My room tonight would be at the famous El Trovatore Motel. It's been welcoming guests on Route 66 since 1937. It's quite popular. I just knew I really wanted to stay here, so I'm glad I got a room. Speaking of my room, let's go check it out. It was a cool little room. All of the rooms are themed, and I ended up, as we can see, in the James Dean room. Several posters around of just him and a couple of the movies he was in. Nice little room. I'm glad that it's got a microwave and a fridge. That's always helpful when you're trying to save money on the road so you can fix your own dinner. This was kind of weird. It's actually covered, like with a hard wood and plastic covering there. So, love the corner sink. Really kind of neat. Small shower, small bathroom overall, much like what we've seen from other places. Small for somebody my size, I guess I should say. Most of the tile is original. This bathroom's pretty much original except for the big floor tile here. The rooms have been remodeled over the years. This one was done not that long ago. Really cozy. I actually really like this place. Pretty cool. One of the claims to fame for the old Trovatore here in Kingman is that it has the world's longest Route 66 map. In reality, it's just a giant wall mural, but each state along the route is represented, and each one of them has just a little depiction of the things you could see there while you're in that state. It's actually kind of neat. I love a good wall mural, so I had a blast walking from Illinois to California from the beginning to the end of Route 66, just checking it out. The El Trovatore actually has a lot of different wall murals to look at. Some of them look like they've been there for a while, some of them look fairly new, but they're all really cool and Route 66 based usually. So it was really a great time. But after checking them out, I decided I was going to head into downtown Kingman just as the sun was starting to set so I could check things out around town before deciding to head back to the hotel and calling it a night.